Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
With the recent announcement of Team Deontay Wilder winning the Court of Arbitration here, and essentially meaning that we're likely to see Fury versus Wilder 3, it's had a lot of people asking, well, what's Anthony Joshua's next move? Some people have been name dropping certain people, but I think the WBO president has recently given kind of an indication as to what's happening next, where he said basically Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk is looking like, I've heard other people mention it as well, for either, I think August the 14th or August the 28th, depending on which source you hear. But basically in August time is when they're looking to get AJ out. Unless I'm very much mistaken, it didn't name a venue. So whether it's in the UK, whether it's they bring it to Saudi Arabia, I don't know. And as I said, unless I'm very much mistaken, there was a venue listed in some of them tweets. I didn't see it. AJ Usyk for me is the only fight I'd want to see AJ in, other than the Tyson Fury fight. Some people have said Dillian Whyte. No. And at the end of the day, Dillian Whyte could have fought AJ in 2019. That was offered for him in Wembley, and he said that AJ didn't want the fight. Well, that's not at all what was reported at the time. It reported that he said the money wasn't good, so he took the Oscar Rivas fight. He then ended up a year later getting knocked out by Povetkin and having to go through that again. We won't go through that. We've talked about that before. We won't go into that. But Usyk versus AJ, fight makes sense. Get rid of the mandatory. And then if Tyson Fury gets through Deontay Wilder, December time, hopefully both guys to come through unscathed. There's no cuts, no serious injuries that would delay it any longer. We can have that fight in December. With regard to AJ versus Usyk, I think that is a fantastic fight, and it does really make what Usyk's team did in terms of delaying the Joyce fight. Now, they never officially announced they were delaying it, but at the start of the year, Frank Warren was very, adamant that, we'll see Joyce versus Usyk for I think it was the interim WBO title. And we had radio silence, and I literally, and again, do you know what I said, right? You can go back, right, and look at the video I done last week. I think it was last Thursday or Friday. And I was right, I guess, in a way. Maybe I've got a sixth sense or something. But I said in that video, because I asked what's the deal with this fight, when are we going to get an announcement on Usyk Joyce, and I said for a lot of Usyk fights, when I make videos saying what's next for him or what's the deal with his fight, we normally get word, and lo and behold, a few days later here we are. So you can blame me for AJ Fury falling apart, not literally, but it is looking likely that we're going to get AJ Usyk next, which I think is a great fight. I think that a lot of people look at Oleksandr Usyk and they see him a heavyweight and they think, he's not that. Rein it in. What perception did you have of Usyk as a heavyweight, though? Because as a cruiserweight, arguably, if not the best, second best, in my opinion, the second best after Holyfield, but he was a fantastic cruiserweight. But he wasn't untouchable at cruiserweight. Like, he had, Myris Briedis, very competitive fight, very tough fight. Krzysztof Glowacki, that was a pretty good fight. Actually, that was pretty dominant from Usyk. But yes, he was good at cruiserweight. But he dominated in a way, but it wasn't domination in the sense of he was blowing guys away left, right, and centre. He was just superior boxer, superior movement, superior footwork, higher volume of punches, like against Gassiev. At heavyweight, the guys are a lot bigger. Myris Briedis is 6'1". Morak Gassiev is 6'3". He fights, guys like Shez Witherspoon, who are, 6'4", 6'5", and they're outweighing him. Yeah, Shez Witherspoon was nothing to write home about, but Usyk, bear in mind, was coming off the back of a year in activity and off the back of injuries, right? And Usyk at the time had been very active. In 2018, when he fought Bellew, he started the year off by fighting Briedis. He fought Gassiev in the summer, and he fought Bellew in November. He was out of the ring for a year, and at the time, inactivity was not a thing for him because he was fighting very, very regularly. Like when he won that title off Krzysztof Glowacki, he won it in September. He was out again in December against Tbiso Machunu. So Usyk has always been active. So literally, you go and put him on a period of inactivity. And I do wonder about what Anatoly Lomachenko does in terms of training, because him and Vasily Lomachenko tend to get injured quite a bit. You're not going to look as good. You put him in there against Derek Chisora, who is a shorter heavyweight, but aggressive, rough, tough. Well, Usyk, he got a bit, I think, kind of a, shock early on, but he was able to adjust. He hurt Chisora. If people say, Chisora could take Usyk's punches, so why can't AJ? Well, Chisora's always shown a very, very good chin. The only guys to stop him are Dillian Whyte with the left hook. And that was and the way that came about was Chisora being extremely reckless, walking onto it. And David Haye, two very big punchers. In terms of his other losses, he's gone the distance with Helenius. Should have won the fight, but he didn't. Helenius is a very big puncher. Yeah, he hurt Chisora. Chisora's got a very good chin. And Usyk did hurt him in the 7th round. So I think that Usyk's power at heavyweight, he's not devastating. He wasn't devastating in the cruiserweight, but he'll keep you honest. You're definitely not going to walk straight through him. And for my money, he did a better job on Derek Chisora than Dillian Whyte did in both fights. Take the knockout out of the equation, they were still competitive fights. Done a much better job than Joseph Parker did. So Oleksandr Usyk, the only people who've done better jobs are Tyson Fury and Vitaly Klitschko. Alright? So Oleksandr Usyk at heavyweight, I think that Usyk is a problem. A serious problem. He's put on a bit of weight. I think he's in the 230s now, allegedly. So we'll need to see how he looks in training, if we see any kind of, hints of, maybe him slowing down a bit or something like that. But him against AJ, stylistically, it's a very good fight. It's a very interesting fight. I won't outright pick Usyk, but for me, this is really competitive. Like, if someone says that this is a mismatch for AJ, no, it's not. This is a very competitive fight. I think that AJ, his best success against Usyk, when I look at it, would be what he has success with against Kubrat Pulev. When he gets close, his uppercut. I think that people underestimate how good that punch is for Anthony Joshua. That uppercut, sometimes against Kubrat Pulev, it was a bit sloppy, I have to say, but when he does let it go, and he lets it go crisp and clean, it's a thing of beauty. That uppercut is lethal. AJ's very good at counter-punching on the inside. You ever notice that? Like, his hooks. I remember re-watching the Joseph Parker fight, just a few little snippets of it. And the hooks that were missing, even though they were missing, they're very crisp, very compact, and well delivered. And if they did land, Parker would have been in all sorts of trouble. So I think that Usyk is going to have to watch out for that. In terms of Joshua, people say, like, look what Chisora did against, Usyk early on. Oh, that's fine. Chisora can do that, but AJ sure as hell ain't going to do that. I've never seen AJ do that. He sure as hell ain't going to do that. So, for me, it's a different style altogether. I'm leaning towards AJ, but I see that fight as definitely competitive wherever it is in the world. It will draw fans. It won't draw, obviously, as many as Fury. Obviously, that's just a given. But I would not sleep on this fight at all. I think it's a fantastic fight. And if we get it during the summer, ideally I would have wanted Fury AJ. That's the fight we wanted. But this is a good fight. Now, make no mistake about that. This is a very, very good fight. Usyk versus AJ. My eyes, excellent fight. So leave it there. When we get closer to this date, we'll probably have a chat about it a bit more. But I wouldn't be surprised if those dates are true. Wherever the location is, remains to be seen. As I said in that video I done about Joyce and Usyk, whenever I do a video on Usyk and I say, when are we going to get an announcement, something happens. I always look back on when March last year was, even before all the lockdowns, it was a pretty bad month for your boy. I remember doing a video on when are we going to get the announcement for Chisora Usyk. I uploaded that in the morning. And I think like 2 hours later, they announced the Sky box office. I was like, thank you. That was perfectly timed. When are we going to get the announcement? Well, 2 hours later, there you go. So that's my history with Usyk and, asking, when are we going to get this? We get it pretty quick. Pretty damn quick. So your boy could be onto something there. For now, lads and lassies, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, of course, always smash the like button. Subscribe, of course, if you're new. Hopefully, it was Wednesday. Well, it's Tuesday, but it's Wednesday when this goes up. Hopefully, we'll get a live stream tonight if I'm free, if I don't have to go anywhere. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that. I think we will. We should be okay. I don't have to drive. I don't have to go to a different county this evening. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. AJ Usyk, you happy? Who do you have? Let me know. Smash the like button. Hashtag GMansRocks. All that good stuff. Lads and lassies, for now, I'll talk to you. Hope you're having a great day, by the way, wherever you are in the world. Peace.